Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to be ranking U.S. states. I don't know why I'm doing this, I just feel like doing it. I tried doing this a few weeks ago, and it didn't really turn out that well. In terms, I don't know, I recorded it late at night, I was stumbling over my words, I was tired. Yeah, so I'm much more awake, I just had dinner, I'm actually, able to focus. So I thought, why not do it? Also, Vikings just beat the Chargers. Finally, we do something. But anyway, with that, let's go ahead and get started. Alabama's just going to go on the C tier. I don't really have anything against it. All the jokes that Alabama's a terrible state. Alabama has actually seen a recovery in its economy and in general, its overall wealth. Alabama has actually become one of the better states in the United States currently. Um, Next up, Alaska S. Alaska's pretty cool. Um, I would love to visit Alaska. I don't know if I'd want to live there, but from what I've seen, it's pretty cool. It's one of the safest states in the entire country. Low population, which is good, in a way. And yeah, I'd like to visit Alaska someday. That'd be cool. Alabama or Arizona. Arizona will go in the C. It gets hot in Arizona. It kind of ranks average on all the indexes and whatnot, so it'll just go in the C tier for average. Arkansas D. There's nothing really special about Arkansas. California F. California is a terrible state. Whether the state's politics are terrible, Governor Newsom is a joke. Um, you have you have it ranking very high in crime. Overcrowded metro areas, tons of homeless people. San Francisco literally has a map of all the human feces sightings between 2015 and 2019. So, yeah, that's just not good. I mean, San Francisco and LA are both terrible cities. Crime rate is through the roof. Governor Newsom is a dictator. Yeah, no, F. Colorado also going to go in the F tier. Colorado is just another crappy state. Yeah, it's another one of those states that I would never want to live there. Weed being legal definitely scares me away. You have Colorado in general just being a very liberal state, and just not being just not being the best state. I mean, Denver has gone to crap. All the libtards from California have ruined Colorado. Connecticut, F. It ranks low. In I believe it ranks low in average income. It also ranks low, I think, in employment numbers. So Delaware also get an F. I don't like Delaware, partially because Biden is from there, and also just because Delaware. If a company is headquartered in Wilmington, Delaware, it pays no corporate tax. But yet Democrats are the ones who want to tax the rich, so to speak. DC will go in the bottom of the F tier. It's terrible. It's a terrible place. DC, without a doubt, high suicide rate, high crime rate, liberals everywhere, high taxes, ranks low on pretty much everything. One of the most dangerous cities in America. Yeah, no, terrible. It's not really a state, but whatever. Florida will go in the S tier. Florida has remained one of the only open states during COVID. It has been one of the last free states besides Montana, um, and besides places like Montana, and South Dakota. Florida has remained very open. It has the lowest rate of COVID in the United States right now. Ron DeSantis has done a pretty good job. I like Florida as a whole. I would love to go to Florida. I want to move to Florida, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. It probably won't happen. Um, Next up we got Georgia, D. Especially after the election, I don't really like Georgia. Um, the Atlanta suburbs are the Atlanta suburban area used to be one of the better places to live, one of the best places to live in the country, and now it has just been run into the ground. Atlanta's a crap hole. Georgia is slowly going to crap. Not a good state. Hawaii, D. Hawaii is very overrated. Sure, it's beautiful or whatever, but it pays. Again, taxes there are very high. It ranks low in quality of life. Not necessarily a good state. Yeah, no, Hawaii, not a place I'd want to go. Um, Vacations, eh. Idaho, B. You don't really hear anything about Idaho, so that's good. You don't really hear anything about it. In the good way. You don't really hear much about it. So yeah, B. I think Idaho's decent. Illinois, F. Illinois has the most imprisoned politicians. Has the most politicians in prison per, I believe, per capita or something like that. Like they have the most politicians that have been in prison since like the 1990s. Yeah, it's number one in corruption in the United States. And also in general, Illinois. It has Chicago, one of the most dangerous cities in the country. Illinois is a pretty bad state. Outstate Illinois is probably decent, but Chicago kind of ruins it for everybody. Make Chicago its own state. I don't know, like just delete Chicago. Indiana, I don't really have much of a problem with Indiana. We'll go in the A tier. From what I've seen, it's a decent state. Nothing really that much wrong. Nothing wrong with it. Necessarily. I think Indiana, in general, has yeah, it seems like a decent state. Yeah, it ranks about average in pretty much everything, so I'll put it in the A. I don't have anything against it. Iowa, S. Iowa has also remained one of the last free states. Iowa is also, in general, ranked pretty high in quality of life and average income, so it'll go in the S. It is one of the better states out there right now to live in, and honestly, I wouldn't mind living in Iowa. I'd move to Iowa 100%. Um, Kansas, I think Kansas will just go in the B. There's nothing against it. It gets a lot of tornadoes though. Kentucky, I don't really have anything going with or against Kentucky, so I'll just put it in the C. I don't really know much about it. Their governor's a total idiot, but I don't really know much about Kentucky outside of It's a it's a southern state and it's okay from what I've seen. So C. I'd go there maybe if Bashir gets voted out in 2023. Maine. Maine will go in the D tier. Maine is just very blah. Yeah, I don't. Maine. It's pretty poop, honestly. Maine is pretty poop. Louisiana, C. You don't really. I don't really know. I don't really care for Louisiana that much. Maryland, I hate Maryland. Maryland is one of my least favorite states. Maryland is terrible. Whether it's it being one of the most liberal states in the country, a lot of crime, having DC be essentially a part of it. I don't know why the District of Columbia is its own thing. Why can't it just be a part of Maryland? Just give those 3 electoral votes to Maryland so it can have 13. I don't understand it, but either way, Maryland, terrible state. And it should probably and it should probably it's gonna get ranked pretty low because I don't like Maryland whatsoever. Massachusetts, same here. I don't like Massachusetts, whether it being a very liberal state, whether it's just a lot of bad stuff, whether it's their sports fans in Boston being notoriously racist. So much for voting for quote unquote people who are going to solve racism, right? Exactly. Yeah, I just not a good state. Not somewhere I'd want to go. Massachusetts does not seem like a very good place right now. Um, and that's something that has to be said. Michigan, F. Whitmer, Detroit. Yeah, Michigan. No. What problems with their water? No, I don't like Michigan. Minnesota also gets an F. My hometown or my home state, F. This state sucks. This state sucks. It's terrible. You have you essentially have Hitler as a governor. You have freaking Adolf Walls as governor. He's a total joke. Locking down our state, shutting down schools for COVID, not deploying the National Guard to Minneapolis. St. Paul and Minneapolis being like in the top 50 for the most dangerous cities in America. Outstate Minnesota being okay. I mean, it's The state is, again, I mean, high taxes, the highest Somali population in the United States, which is not good. Um, yeah, no, just an just not a good state. We're not good. F. I want to get out of here, and once I am old enough to move out on my own, and once I have enough money, I will move to it. I will either move to Florida, either Texas or Florida. It depends upon um uh it depends upon um if it depends on if they stay red or not. But I'd try to go for Texas. Unless Texas is already stolen by then. Mississippi, I don't really have anything against it. It's very poor though. It's one of the poorer states, although it has been recovering as of late, but it doesn't really seem like a bad state. But see, Missouri, Missouri's cool. I'd go to Missouri. Missouri would be fun. Montana, I think Montana would go in the top of the B tier. Actually S tier. Screw it. Jean Forte is a decent governor. They've remained open. He's protected their citizens from vaccine mandates. He has done, again. Montana has been one of the free states. Yeah, I put Montana in the S tier right here. Right here. Yeah, it seems like a decent state. I would go to Montana. Sooner or later. Nebraska will go in the B. I don't have anything against Nebraska. Nevada, D. They have prostitution legal in like a municipality of like a town south of Vegas. I think it's called like Paradise or something like that. Yeah, no, not okay. Don't legalize that crap. um, yeah, no. D. Nevada, blah. Vegas kind of ruins it. It's a lot of degenerates. New Hampshire, A. New Hampshire ranks high on a lot of lists for quality of life. Average income and whatnot. And the cost of living is pretty low in New Hampshire, so I'll put it at an A. And also because New Hampshire, I just think New Hampshire is okay. I'd go to New Hampshire sooner or later. New Jersey, F. I hate New Jersey. Um, Although the people there are waking up, they almost voted Phil Murphy out, so who knows? New Jersey, I think, is just a very blah state. There's tons of degenerates when it comes to gambling in Atlantic City. It's another hub for big tech, and we don't like big tech, do we? No. New Jersey's terrible. F. New Mexico, C. I don't have anything against New Mexico. It seems like an alright state, but again, C. New York, bottom of the list. Like, bottom of the barrel bad. New York, Cuomo ran that place into the ground. New York City went from being the best city to the worst city in America. Crime there has been through the roof because Cuomo released all he's released all prisoners from jail. Just an awful, awful state. Cuomo ended up resigning, thank God. But either way, New York, I don't like New York. Upstate New York is okay, but NYC is a total joke. Um, and honestly, I wish every conservative Upper New Yorker get out of there. Get out of upstate New York while you can. Go to Florida, go to Texas, maybe go to like New Hampshire, maybe go to I don't know, maybe go to like Wisconsin or something. Just get out of there. Just get out of upstate New York while you can. North Carolina, A. North Carolina, I think, is probably a decent state from what I've seen. Mr. Beast is from there, so that kind of does give it a little bit of a bump. But yeah, outside of that, it's an okay state. I'll put it in the A. I don't know if it's a I don't really know too much about it, but from what I've heard, it's a decent state. North Dakota, B. North Dakotans hate Minnesotans, but trust me, we're not all crazy people. There are sane people like me, okay? I would go to North Dakota, but sadly, Doug Burgum's a joke. So, Ohio, screw Ohio. Oklahoma, B. They have tornadoes though. They have a lot of tornadoes, which, yikes. Oregon, yeah. Portland, no. Getting beat up by Antifa in Portland. Um, no, never want to go to Oregon. It does not seem like a state I'd ever want to visit. Uh, Portland ruins it. Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania, I think is just gonna go on the D. I, Pennsylvania, I think could be higher on this list, but then again, 2020 election, Philadelphia at 3 a.m. Rhode Island, F. Right here, just eh. Ranks low on a lot of things. Uh, just a crappy state. South Carolina, D, or actually B. I don't have anything against South Carolina. I don't have anything for it, obviously, but from what I've seen, it seems okay. It's okay. Um, South Dakota will go in the S tier. I'll put it right here. South Dakota has been again another free state, another one without COVID rules. Overall, one of the better states in America right now. But yeah, I'll put it in the S because it's remained open. Its crime rate is fairly low, and in general, yeah, it's gonna rank high on this list. Um, Tennessee will go in the A. Tennessee, I'd go to Tennessee. I think it'd probably be a decent place to live. It ranks average to below average on a lot of people's lists, but on my list, I think it is a decent state. I would most definitely live in Tennessee if given the choice, and there's no other options. Tennessee, I think, would be a somewhat decent state. Um, Texas, you already know where that's going. S. I don't even have to explain. Utah, A. You don't really hear too much about Utah, so. But then again, the crazy Mormons in Salt Lake City kind of make me scared though. I don't know. A. Vermont, right there. Virginia, D. F. Washington, F. West Virginia, S. Wisconsin, A. Wisconsin gets an A. And as much as I've said, as much as I crap all over Wisconsin in a lot of my videos, I actually do kind of like Wisconsin more than I do Minnesota. I would go to Wisconsin. I would live there if given the choice. Wisconsin does seem like a decent state. Um, you have a competent Republican Party there. Overall, Wisconsin I think would be a decent state. I would most definitely go to Wisconsin and live there. I probably that'd be like my number one target, be Wisconsin. I would probably go to Wisconsin for. I'd probably try to move there. Maybe move to like Western Wisconsin or so. Maybe move to like La Crosse or something. I don't know. Finally, Wyoming. That'll get an A. I like Wyoming. There's that. It's known for Union Pacific trains, and I'm a huge rail fan. And also, Wyoming ranks pretty low when it comes to crime. Low population. Not a bad idea. But yeah, that does conclude this video. On my thoughts on um all the states, and yeah, you can see where they are. And if you notice a pattern, let me know. Because I would love to hear what you guys notice about what states I put where and what they have in common. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.